Hello and welcome to Good Game Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am Darren.
Coming up on the show, we sleepwalk our way through Back to Bed. But now, Darren, hit us with your question of the week.
Affirmative, Bajo. Boot up your control dome, spawnlings, because it's time for Darren's challenge. This week, I'm asking you, who is the main music composer on the Pokemon series? The answer will be revealed at the end of the show.
It's a great question, Darren. The Pokemon games have featured some lovely music over the years, but now here is Goose with the news.
He's super effective.
Thanks guys, Goose here with all the gaming news from around the world. Official Oculus VR support may be back on the agenda for Minecraft. The game's creator Marcus Notch Persson expressed frustration when Facebook purchased Oculus earlier this year, cancelling his plans for supporting the tech. However, in a tweet this month, he came out saying that he's officially over being upset about Facebook buying Oculus. I can't wait to live in a world where I can live in a Minecraft world. The Pokemon World Championship for 2014 has come to a close. The event covers both the trading card game and video games, with junior, senior and master divisions for each. The coveted Masters trophies went to Canadian Andrew Estrada for the card game and South Korea's Sejun Park for the video game. Park's secret weapon was his Patchy Risu, who charmed the crowd and dominated the competition. And that's all the news for this week. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Goose. Now it's time to go back to bed.
Back to Bed is a puzzle game set in a surreal dreamscape. Your goal is to guide Bob, the narcoleptic sleepwalker, to the safety of his bedroom.
Get Bob safely to bed.
The level design is inspired by the artist M.C. Escher. The illustrator's impossible constructions are his defining works and have influenced a lot of puzzle video games over the years.
Yes, indeed. Escher's style works so well for video games because it's so visually perplexing. We've seen it in games like The Bridge, and more recently in Monument Valley. However, with Back to Bed, surprisingly, the level design is the least confusing element.
Yeah, there's some strange stuff going on.
The apple is a hat.
You play as Bob Subconscious, a small dog-like creature called Subob. As Subob, you can interact with objects in the dream to help Bob find a path to bed and avoid falling off the world. Or running into an obstacle that'll startle him awake.
In typical Lemmings style, Bob will just keep on walking, turning only when he encounters an obstacle. For every barrier he hits, Bob turns clockwise 90 degrees.
There are two main tools at your disposal to help solve the puzzles. One is the large apples, which can be placed in front of Bob, forcing him to turn. The other is a fish bridge, which can be used to cross gaps. Later on, you encounter lip vents, which blow you around. But that's about it for mechanics.
Yeah, it's very simple, but there are some interesting moments throughout the game. For example, having to create a cul-de-sac with apples to set Bob on the right path.
Also, it can be stressful trying to get those bridges down in time. Oh no! Oh, Bob, no! 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 But you quickly learn that there's no real consequence for letting him fall. In fact, sometimes you just have to let him fall while you work out a plan.
Yeah, I did that a lot. The game is quite forgiving, and about a quarter of the way through, you start to meet enemies that wake up Bob immediately. There are unicycling alarm clocks, grumpy dogs, angry-looking holes in the floor, and a train that is a whale.
I love it. The game has such a wonderful dreamy quality to it, and I really enjoyed the cutscenes that are strewn throughout as well. They're short and simply animated, but they go a long way towards making you care about Bob.
Good morning, Bob.
Affirmative. However, I think it fails to take full advantage of its obscure look. There are a few moments where you're thinking laterally, climbing all over the walls to grab an item, but those are few and far between. It seems like a waste to not have more complex, world-bending puzzle elements.
Yes, it's not a very long or challenging game, is it? I think I beat all 30 levels in under 2 hours.
Yeah, me too. However, once you complete all of the levels, you unlock Nightmare Mode. These are the same 30 levels, but with a challenging twist. Rather than just making a beeline straight to the exit, you're forced into more obscure parts of the maps to collect keys which unlock the bedroom.
Yes, now this was the difficulty I was after. If Bob falls off the map or is woken up after collecting a key, you need to start over. There's a lot more quick thinking and movement required to keep Bob on track, which I think is where this game really shines.
It would have been nice to see this integrated earlier on rather than being an endgame unlock. I think they've kept it simple to allow for touch screens as the developers plan on releasing this game for mobile devices in the not too distant future. What are you two going to score this?
Well, it's a pretty good game. I mean, everything works well and it's got a nice design to it. It was just a little bit too easy for me, so I'm giving it 6.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 6.5 as well. Dream on, Bob, dream on.
Bet on your friend, indeed.
Okay, you two, I have another special episode of my sitcom Totally Incompatible to show. And this one has a very special cameo.
Oh, I think I know who the special guest star is going to be.
Roll the tape, Carrie! Totally Incompatible was filmed before a live studio audience.
Okay, that's the salad done, Darren.
Oh, dinner is going to be delicious!
Oh, I'll get it.
Hex!
Hi, Goose. Hi, Darren. Come on in, Hex.
I hope you've brought an empty stomach, Hex.
Yeah, Darren's gone all Michelle Star on us.
It's Michelin star, Goose.
Whatever he said.
Well, I can't wait. And look, I brought chocolate.
Oh, fantastic.
Not too many, Goose. You'll ruin your appetite.
Hey, Goose, I really want to show you this awesome new game on my phone. Come take a look. Okay, so it's called Flying Jetpack Ninja Pigeons. It's really cool and it's got this really great score ladder, you know, and so that other people beat you, then you can beat them. It's really awesome.
This is so much fun. Cooking is fun.
And this, yeah, I beat Bajo like twice already.
He's gonna flip when he sees we're both beating him.
Dinner is ready.
Oh, I got the awesome booster jetpack.
Dinner is ready.
Oh, Darren, don't scare me like that.
I said dinner is ready.
Okay, cool. Hey, Hex. Hex.
Just a...
Hex. Hex, dinner's ready.
Oh, awesome. I'm starving.
I hope you like it. It's Pac-Man salad with freshly furnace Minecraft cooked chicken.
Wow, Darren, this looks sensational. You know, I think you could give Cooking Mama a run for her money.
Stop.
Oh, Goose Bajo just beat your score.
Oh, well, now I have to beat him.
Eat up. It's going to get cold.
Easy, that wasn't even a good score.
He's going to get straight back in there, though. Oh, look, I just beat both of you.
So, Goose, are you enjoying the food?
Come on. Oh, yeah, it's lovely, Darren.
So I was just telling R2-D2 last week that he really needs to find a new supplier for X-Wing release valves.
There we go. I'll get him.
Charging my EMP!
Darren, what happened?
I charged and emitted my electromagnetic pulse ray and knocked out all mobile communications.
Yeah, as well as the whole electricity grid.
Yes, that too. You know, guys, meal times are a special time to catch up with your family and friends. And it's important that you give your attention to those important and close around you, and not just to your mobile devices.
Gee, I'm sorry, Darren. I guess we just got carried away with flying jetpack ninja pigeons.
Yeah, sorry, Darren, that was a bit rude of us. But hey, dinner's not over. Maybe we could make it up to you.
Yeah.
Oh, indeed, Goose. There's still dessert. It's portal cake. Dig in. So anyway, last week I was hurtling through space with Richard Garriott.
Richard Garriott?
No way.
Yeah, and wouldn't you know it, he's afraid of heights.
Classic Darren.
I think we all learned an important lesson today.
Huh?
I said we learned an important lesson.
Oh yes, listen.
Anyway, it's time for our spawn point. Off you go. Hurry. I'll be back up as usual.
Okay, Okay, nearly there.
Hex. Hex.
Just gotta collect
Hex.
one more
Clap,
of
clap.
these.
Clap, clap. Have you learned nothing from your own episode of Totally Incompatible, Hex?
You're right. We should get some answers for these questions. So first up today, we've got this one from Awesome Gaming Girl 09, who is in Darren's Cave, New South Wales. Where's my... Hey. Hi there. Please answer this, Hex. In Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, how do you build your own buildings? Because I can get the first section and then I can't add a roof or another level. Please answer. Hex, do these. Ah! Well, Awesome Gaming Girl, I can definitely help you out with that. So, when you're building a structure in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the simple trick to building up higher levels is just to hold the shift key. So, lay down your first level of walls, then when you want to put on your second level, put the wall over your first level, press shift, and voila, it will jump up to the next level. Then it's the same process for roofs. Just hold shift when you've got the roof over the right tile, and then you can raise it up to the height that you want.
Did you know the creators of Roller Coaster Tycoon are bringing out a new roller coaster game?
There's a new one coming out?
No. Well, yes, actually. Roller Coaster Tycoon World is coming out early next year on PC.
Oh, that's awesome. It's been 10 years since the last proper Roller Coaster Tycoon game. I can't wait to review that.
Yes, but that's actually not what I was referring to. I was actually thinking of Scream Ride.
Oh, well, okay, what's Scream Ride about?
Well, you know how when you play Roller Coaster Tycoon, all you really want to do is build ridiculous roller coasters that no one wants to ride because it makes everyone throw up?
Actually, I just like to build a nice, thriving business and make a pretty-looking park.
Oh, it's so boring! Scream Ride basically lets you just build insane coasters and blow stuff up with them to make people scream. It looks great.
Well, that does look pretty fun. Well, it looks like we'll be getting some great coaster games next year then, but let's move on to this one now from World of Tanks Blizz King, who is in Melbourne, Victoria.
I really need to know why do my shells keep bouncing off the first USA tank destroyer when I'm in the Marauder 11? It is an outrage. P.S. Can you review World of Tanks Blizz? The World of Tanks King out. Thanks for your question, World of Tanks King. Hex, it sounds like another gamer has fallen victim to the ultimate troll mobile in World of Tanks, the T-18. This Tier 2 tank destroyer can be very frustrating to fight because of its thick frontal armor that can make just about every shot bounce right off.
We feel your pain, Blizz King, but don't despair because the T-18 does have a weakness. Like most tank destroyers, it doesn't have a turret. If you have a fast, highly mobile tank like a BT-2 or an M2, then you can easily zip around to the side and blast its sides and rear.
But if you're in a slower vehicle like the Marder 2, all is not lost. There is a glaring weak spot in the T-18's frontal armor. Just aim for this shelf, and you can easily damage it.
Of course, it can still damage you. Never confront a tank head-on unless you have no other choice. It's in these intense moments that knowing the weak spots of your enemy can really save your bacon.
Bacon. And we have reviewed World of Tanks Blitz on our show for grown-ups. The game is PG, so feel free to watch that review at our website. I gave it a 4. I felt like the touchscreen controls weren't really suitable for a precise action game.
Yeah, it was all right, and it still captures a lot of that World of Tanks fun for on the go, so I gave it a 6. But next up we have this one from Master Chief, who is in Geelong, Victoria.
Oh, he's in Geelong. I know what he's doing there.
I'm just visiting some relos,
Maybe
maybe?
on holiday? Get hot in there, though. Pretty
In the
warm in
suit.
that suit. Yeah.
In Geelong.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one place in the world that he takes his helmet off. I remember in one of your episodes there was a game with many different kind of challenges where you had to build up the land or turn the water to jelly to get a person to a portal. It has just been bugging me forever. What is the name of it and what platform is it on? Please answer my question or I'll go insane! P.S. Darren is a mega noob.
Well, Chief, I'm pretty sure the game you're talking about is called From Dust. You play as a god, and you have to transform the landscapes to help your little people avoid disasters and complete objectives.
And that game had some amazing water effects, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome water. And those tsunamis were terrifying. I'm pretty sure it's only available digitally, though, so you'll have to download it. But you can download it on PC 360 or PS3.
But let's move on to this one from Guanaco Sparrow King, who is in Sparrow's High Roost, Victoria.
What sort of bow do we do for Guanaco Sparrow King?
I don't know.
I think it would be more of a...
To the scholars, Hex and Bajo. This question has been pestering me since the announcement of the next-gen consoles, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. What is the possible time frame that the next-gen consoles will come out? Because I don't want to get a PS4, Xbox One, then a couple of years later a new console comes out. Thank you for your time, wise ones. Hope you understand my predicament. Yours sincerely, Guanaco Guanaco Sparrow King. P.S. A guanaco is a camelid, a group of even-toed ungulate mammals. Well, your even-toed ungulate mammal Sparrow Highness, I wouldn't worry too much about the new consoles being replaced anytime soon. Most console generations have, on average, lasted at least 5 years.
Yeah, last generation went a fair bit longer, though. It was actually about 8 years in between last gen launching and the current gen consoles coming out, which I think is the longest generation ever.
We've heard a lot of people say that they thought last gen went a little bit too long, so it might be a shorter cycle this time, but we honestly can't say with any kind of certainty.
Yes, but at the very least, we wouldn't be surprised if there's at least 5 years in the life of these consoles.
So that would mean new consoles in around 2018-ish?
That sounds about right, and no doubt they'll release slimmer versions of the current ones too, and they might get a bit cheaper as the years roll on. So if they're a bit expensive for you right now, then it might be worth waiting a year or two for that to happen.
Yeah, but who knows? Some other company might just jump in and release an awesome console between now and then. I mean, you just don't know what the future holds.
No, if only we had a crystal ball, Hex, or maybe, you know what, Darren can time travel, can't he?
He is a Time Lord.
Let me give him a call. I'll call him on the pony phone this week.
It's over here. Yep.
It's ringing. Or name.
Hello, who is it?
Hi, Darren, it's Bajo.
Oh, hello, Bajo.
And it's also Hex.
Hex is here too. I'll just put pony on speaker. Hey, Darren, you can time travel, right?
Oh, affirmative. I've ridden on the backs of dinosaurs, dined with cavemen, lasered Einstein.
Is that why Einstein's hair is so crazy?
Correct, Hex. You see, he stole my idea for the theory of general relativity. Sneaky scientist.
Sure he did, Darren.
Certainly
But we
did.
just want to know if you can tell us when the next generation of consoles will come out.
Oh, well, of course I could. But I'd have to destroy you. If I told you what will happen in the future, that could potentially have timeline-altering implications, Bajo. It could even cause a tear in space-time itself. The last universe I caused one of those in was pretty upset about it, let me tell you.
So, Darren, if you can time travel to any point in time ever, how come you chose to be right here and now?
Well, I guess I just like being here with you two. And Goose, of course.
Oh, Darren, that's really sweet.
Also, all my stuff is in the Darren cave, and moving timelines is such a chore. You've got to redirect your mail, and it's so hard to find a good intertime continuum removalist.
Yes, I think that's the real reason, Hex. But come on, Darren, just tell us the future.
Yeah, just tell us the future, Darren.
Negative. Although I can say you might want to eat a few less cheese sandwiches, Bajo. They're not very healthy in such extreme quantities.
They are so delicious. Okay, fine. Any crazy weird future communication experiments you want to drop on us next week, Darren?
Nay. Negative. I feel I've mastered all forms of communication. I've taken up gardening instead. It's much more relaxing, and these scoops are perfect for tilling the soil. Digging my yard, planting my trees, pulling out weeds. I just love to till my yard.
Wow, Darren, I think you've really discovered your inner nurturing robot there.
Yes, well, I think we're out of time for this week. And as always, if you'd like to send us a question, then you can do that here.
Oh, by the way, I've prepared the office for our next review, so you can head on up whenever you're ready.
Okay, Darren.
Thanks, Darren.
How do I hang up the horse?
Yeah.
Close enough.
You know what, guys? One of the things I love about this job is getting to play so many games. I don't even know how many I've actually played. Darren, help me out.
Calculating. Bajo, you've played an impressive total of 12,482 games during your lifetime.
Whoa, that is a lot of games. Well, I can honestly say I've never played any game quite like Hohokum.
Hohokum puts you in control of a flying worm that drifts gracefully between a strange mix of dimensions. Other than the cartoony 2D art style, there's no real connection that I could spot between the locations. And there's not much in the way of normal gameplay, is there?
Yeah, it really leaves you to your own devices, and there's not really any objectives or tutorials either. There are buttons to speed up or slow down your worm, but that's it. So really you just fly around and see what happens. Often I'd bump into things by accident, and then how they reacted would give me a clue about what to do next.
Affirmative. I did like how this game made me feel like an intergalactic explorer. Each one of the game's locations was like a new alien world I was visiting. Sometimes I felt like I was bouncing around at a minuscule molecular level, and in others I was a huge magic carpet ferrying people around a theme park.
Yeah, I agree the game is at its best when it's feeding your natural desire to explore, and those levels are just so imaginative. Like this one where you fly this guy through a sky filled with colours. It turns out that he needs to scoop bits of colour up and feed them to this machine to make hats for his friends. I mean, that is just genius.
I wish I had hats like those, Hex. I also liked flying around and helping out at this wedding. But I don't really want to talk any more about specifics because half of the fun of this game is working it out for yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed those light bulb moments when you figure out a level's solution, but too much of this just felt so random to me. Without any enemies or objectives, there's a lot of bumping around aimlessly.
Affirmative. The game also doesn't provide any lives or sections you can fail. It's also very illogical and very, dare I say it, ungame-like. Some levels seemed more like an interactive screensaver than a game. It's all a little perplexing.
Darren, I think you're being a bit harsh. I agree this game is weird, but I think it's more a piece of interactive art with some puzzles thrown in. I think it's quite original, so I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
It's just a little bit too much of a mixed bag for me. I mean, I really love the art style, but I spent more time being frustrated than entertained, so I'm giving this one 5. Well, sadly, that's all the time we have for the show this week.
And you know what that means, Darren?
It's time for me to unveil the answer to my challenge. Earlier on in the show, I asked you who is the main music composer on the Pokemon series. And the answer is Junichi Masuda. Masuda-san started as the sole composer for Pokemon Red and Green, and since then he has also become one of the directors of the Pokemon games. Oh, Bajo, Hex, did you know that this is our 196th episode of Spawn Point?
196? That's interesting, Darren.
Oh, wait a minute, that means in 4 weeks' time, it'll be our 200th episode of Spawn Point.
Excellent calculation skills, Hex.
Whoa, we should have a party!
Yes, with cake! It'll be like our very own 200th birthday party.
A multi-tiered mega cake. Oh, but we can't get any birthday cards because they don't go up to 200.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what we could do is ask Spawnlings to design us some 200th birthday cards and send them in.
Yeah, so we can give a prize to the one we like the most.
Yes, a prize! What should we give them?
A Darren badge.
Yes, a Darren badge is a very good prize, but how about for the Spawnling who designs our favourite 200th birthday card, they could win their very own console of their choice. So like any console they wanted, they could just have it.
Terms and conditions apply.
That is a brilliant idea. Okay, Spawnlings, get your crayon, get your paper, get your glue, get it all ready. Oh, and especially your glitter.
Negative. No glitter. It clogs up my intake vents and makes me cough.
Darren, glitter is an occupational hazard of the arts and craft world.
You will need to be quick though, because you need to get those cards posted by the 10th of September 2014. And we'll put up all the information of where to send it on our website.
How exciting. All right, until next time, Spawnlings, Bajo out.
Hex out.
Darren out.
Darren, what do you think makes a good card? A good birthday card?
Well, it needs to be creative and interesting. And have no glitter.
No glitter?
But I like glitter. I also like colours. I just lots of colours.